Hey everyone, Beckie Belote here from Newport News, Virginia. So I realized when I was doing my blog that I said, this is a really simple technique. And then I said to myself, it may not actually be that simple for somebody that's never used our border maker system upside down before. So basically, you can do some really pretty and fast page layouts by finding a piece of paper where you like the front and the back. In other words, they look really nice together. Wired for this. In fact, I don't think it matters at all, actually. I take that back. Because you don't necessarily need to use both sides of this, for this to work nicely. The first thing I'm going to do is show the technique with the border punches. So any of our border punches, this is going to work with where the border does not fall off. You can tell a border doesn't fall off because one side will be solid like this, the other side will be silver like this. So that means this side's going to fall off, this side's going to hang on to the paper. So this is the type of punch that you're going to want to use for this technique. So what I'm showing now is not what's in the blog. What I'm showing now is something I've showed oodles of times before, but it's just a fantastic, easy way to do a very fast double page spread. So I'm going to show this, and then I'm going to show you the technique that maybe is not so intuitive. So when you start this, you want to make sure it's right in the middle. And I can tell it's in the middle if when I fold this up, this point is in the middle, and you can see it's a little bit off. So I'm going to slide it a little bit. All right. It's not exactly perfect. It's not going to matter that much. And then we're going to use from here, the border punch will work as normal. We'll have the blue pattern that we can line up our cut pattern with. And then we're going to go all the way to the end. Now, what's going to happen, however, is when you're done, half of it's not going to be. And I'm going to go one more time just to be on the safe side. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. All right, so that takes care of that side. Now to do this side, not a problem. We're just going to use the other side now as our template. So we're going to now go to this side and put it in here, and then go to the end. And you're going to love what happens when we're done, because what this does is it not only is cutting this edge um, in a with a really pretty edge, but it also is cutting the picture on the page on the diagonal. So I'm gonna get that one more in there. Okay, I'm gonna take it, get in there. All right, let's go there and see if that will make it work. All right. So now what you can see, let me get this out of the way for us. We have a little trash bucket down here. Sure. I don't know what I did with it. We're going to put that right over here. All right. So what we have now is a really pretty, like you can imagine this on a double page spread. Use your imagination for just a moment. One would be up here, one would be down here. You could also do it like this. Lots of different ways that you could do it. I've also done it. Let's imagine this on a 12-page spread where I actually cut off some of it here, and kind of use it as a topper. So you can do all kinds of things. But what it did, if I were to cut this on the diagonal, unless you had a really big industrial trimmer, you're not going to get that long cut there. You'd have to use your scissors, and long cuts with scissors sometimes aren't all that accurate. So this has cut it, and not only has it cut it, but it cut it in a beautiful fashion. All right, so this will work with any of our border punches that hang on to the paper. Okay, so you want it to be solid down here and ornate just at the top. All right, so that takes care of that. Now, in the blog, I use the same technique, but I used it with, it's called the woven scallop. And again, this will also work with any of our border maker cartridges as long as it doesn't fall off. So again, we're seeing what looks like it's holding on here, and the black part of it is cut here. So this one hangs on. If in doubt, I mean, it's easier to tell these before you take them out of the box, because the ones that have the word chain on the end, they always drop off. The other ones will hang on to the paper. But if in doubt, just try it on the paper and see. All right, see if it's gonna fall off. All right. So I'm gonna show you how to do that exact same skill this time with the border maker. So we're gonna fold the piece of paper. And what you're gonna see, typically we would grab this tool, right? We would jam this into here. But because this is a 12-inch piece of paper, when you fold it on a diagonal for all of my fellow math nerds out there, this is 12 times the square root of 2, which happens to be bigger than 12. And this is a 12-inch um, ruler that we need. All right, so it's not going to work. This part's not going to work, but the technique will. So all you'll need to do, and I think I'm going to fold it the other way because I think we'll see what's easier for you to see. All right, so we're going to do the same technique. We want it cut. We're going to start. You know what? It doesn't even matter where you start, really. You can start anywhere with this. In fact, I'm probably going to start off the paper down here. All right, so I put it in there. Can you see that? Let's see what happens if I fold it the other way. Just trying to make sure it looks better on the screen. So the other one, I made sure I started in the middle. This one, I don't even care because it's not really going to matter. So I'm going to push it in there and slide it so that I cut all of it. So what you should see here is part of the paper in, and there's this little triangle piece that's not, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and cut there. Oh my, I've got a jam. You know what? When I was playing around with this one, I also got a jam. I think it's my actual cartridge. So what I'm going to do is just kind of rip this out. You all know how that is. This will cut through two pieces of designer prints very easy. I think it's a malfunction with my actual cartridge. So I'm gonna switch it to something else. Something that I know will not get jammed. And we'll just make it so that it's not kind of pretty. It's gonna have ugly right down here. You're gonna get the idea. All right, let's try that again. So now for the second punch, we're going to imagine that it's going to connect to that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure this square part fits in this square window. Yeah, I should have tested that because I actually had that malfunction a second ago. And I have a hunch it's got maybe some adhesive in there. All right, so I'm going to slide it until you see the cut part. I'm going to slide it till it fills the whole window. I'm going to mash. And then I'm going to slide it again. Now, what you are going to want to do is get the paper out of there. It's probably what I do. I probably have paper. And I just punched up and that kind of brought it up there. All right. And then we're going to do it again. So we're going to slide, slide, slide. See the cut? Slide it back until the window is totally filled. All right. I can see that I have paper stuck in there. So we don't want that. You want to pop it upside down and let it fall off. That one, the paper fell out nicely. So you don't really need the ruler at all if you know how to cut upside down. One more. Actually, there's not much there. I'm just going to pull it off. All right. And then we're going to open it up, and then you're going to see how pretty this is with that one little defect at the end, which is my signature. If it weren't for me making little mistakes at the end, it wouldn't be a Beckie a Beckie piece of work. All right, so there we go. So isn't that super pretty? So it does work with border makers, just a little bit more time consuming, but sometimes this is exactly what you want, right? So hopefully you'll go and try that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of the weekend.